Morning boys and girls, it's early on a Sunday morning here in Nottinghamshire in the UK, and I'm just taking my morning walk just to see if there's anything new, if I can come up with any thoughts about the carnivore diet and do my usual bit of waffling. And you know what, I think it's got the makings of a very, very wonderful, beautiful and amazing day. I'm 24 hours into my my water fast at the moment, just trying to flush out all those carbohydrates and the toxins that I've obviously, you know, taken in whilst having my period of falling off the carnivore wagon. I don't feel bad about falling off the wagon because I did it for a couple of hours. It is what it is, you know, we all make mistakes. And I think what we've got to do is we've got to learn from the mistakes and realise that we're not all saints. We don't have a halo, and you know what, we're still fallible. We still make mistakes, and it's how you overcome them which makes the difference. And you know what, I've took stock of it. I've realised that all these carbohydrates and cheap fats and all that crap salt that I was taking in, it just made me feel absolutely lousy. So it's a good couple of months since I last had a bad day, so I'm getting better. You know, before I started carnivore, I had those kind of days every single day. I used to wake up with a fat head and, you know, completely bloated and stuff, but it's getting less frequent. I'm feeling far better this morning than I did yesterday morning. I wouldn't say they're fully out yet because I still woke up dehydrated and feeling a little bit hungover, but it's weaning its way through. I'm sure by tomorrow morning I'll be 100% better. So, well, isn't this amazing? What a wonderful, wonderful morning this is. It's very rare we get weather like this in the UK. We're used to like rain, wind, just overall overcast and quite depressing weather. So any chance I can get out into this sunshine, I love it. And since being on carnivore, I don't really burn that much. I've got a bit of a flaky nose from the other day when I had my carbohydrates. Normally, since being on carnivore, I don't have any flaky skin, dry skin or anything. But because I was bad the other day, a little bit of the flaky skin's come through, but I'm 24 hours into my water fast. So no doubt, in a couple of days, it'll all be gone. I'll be back to my normal routine of eating a good quality, human appropriate diet. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Dave. I'm just a regular guy who gets up and goes to work every day and runs a few little businesses, but I follow a carnivore lifestyle where I eat only animal products, their fat, and I do add things like butter, beef tallow, coconut oil and things like that to the side of my plate just to boost up my energy levels, help me produce a few more little ketones, and just generally just make me more satiated with every meal. I'm not a nutritionist, dietitian, doctor or researcher or anything like that. I just give you advice based on what I've experienced and allow you to think that's good information or bad information. It's entirely up for you to decide. So if you're new here, thank you very much for popping along for my morning walk. I do appreciate all the new subscribers and the existing subscribers who kindly leave me fabulous comments. It's very heartwarming to know that people are enjoying my content and generally, you know, getting something from my morning waffles. I do tend to just ramble on. It's just part of my nature. But I thought this morning I could talk about the foods which make me feel the best, and I suppose the foods which make me feel the worst, or at least, you know, the additives which make me feel the worst. So if we start off on a positive note, and start off with all the you know, the animal products which make me feel the best, I think that'll probably make for a good start. So my favourite is lamb. I love the taste of lamb. It's usually in the right sizes for me. It never comes absolutely massive chunks. It's usually 30-35 grams of protein for each lamb steak, or if I get a couple of lamb chops, it will quickly, you know, add up to the amount of macronutrients I need. Very easy to cook. You either grill it, or as I tend to do quite a lot, is just put it in a frying pan with a bit of beef tallow, gently sear that, and it's straight on my plate. You know, I tend to reduce the juices with a bit of water, thicken that up and pour that over as a juice, so I still get all the fat and all those nutrients which have normally leaked out. Pour them back over and make sure I get as much as possible from the lamb. I find that cut of meat, that animal, to give me the most energy, just makes me feel the best. You know, it has a better omega-3 to omega-6 profile, and I just find it's beautiful. I mean, the lamb we get in the UK is largely all grass-fed. It tastes amazing. It's beautiful stuff. So if I was allowed to have any cut of meat or any animal on a regular basis, it would always be lamb. I love it. It's just amazing. Second to that is obviously beef. I tend to go for any bit of beef. It doesn't matter if it's beef liver, you know, or, you know, ribeye, a normal rump steak, or even, you know, just a roast, a sirloin, you know, a silver side, top side. Don't matter to me. It's all good. Again, most of what we buy in the UK is grass-fed. Even the beef that we buy in our supermarkets is, by and large, all grass-fed, from what I've been told or what I've seen. We have a lot of quality controls over here, and it seems like the majority of what we're eating is actually really good quality. So I'd say they're the two meats which I eat the most of. I do eat quite a few eggs. I tend to go for free-range eggs from the local farm, which is over that direction, and you can literally go and pick up the eggs yourself, or they do have teenagers which pop in daily to go and rummage around in the hedgerows and find the eggs. I find those are beautiful, and I have those quite often. And I eat quite a lot of sardines and mackerel, wild sardines and things like that. I find those are very, very nice. I don't eat them plain. I do tend to stir in a little bit of tomato puree, salt and pepper, some chili flakes, a few herbs. I know this isn't completely carnivore, I know, but if it helps me eat good quality food, then, and I don't react with it, I'll eat those. Pork, yeah, I eat quite a bit of pork, you know, try and get the best quality pork I can get. Pork is very, very inexpensive in the UK compared to lamb and beef. A lot of people tend to turn their nose up at pork, yet it is actually a good meat. It's not got the same omega-3 to omega-6 profile, but as I said, in the UK, we tend to have a very different way of farming our animals compared to other parts of the world. So, by and large, the meat is actually very good. Don't have that much chicken, to be honest. I tend to find, because it's not got that much fat with it, I'm having to add a lot of butter and you know, things like ghee and coconut oil to the side to reduce the amount of fat I'm having in my meals. So I try not to have chicken that often. I don't have that much dairy. Whilst I react pretty okay with things like mature cheddars, blue cheeses, the Italian cheeses which are made with raw milk, you know, the DOP stuff, I tend to be okay with those type of cheeses, and largely, you know, I feel satiated with them. I feel relatively energetic after those types of dairy. Not quite as much as I do when I eat the lamb, the beef, the pork, the fish. I feel far more energized with those, but by and large, with those cheeses I've mentioned, I do feel pretty okay. Now, if I try and include things like, you know, whole milk, single cream, double cream, whipping cream, anything like that, my energy just plummets. Mental clarity just goes all muggy, goes all cloudy. I find any depressive thoughts are amplified when I'm on those, when I have those kind of foodstuffs, and I'm less positive. So where possible, I will remove those from my diet. I don't drink any milk. I don't have any cream or coffee in me. Cream or milk in my coffee. I do have butter, quite a lot of butter every day, unsalted, just from grass-fed cows. But I don't have any milk or cream or anything like that. It tends to upset my stomach. I'll be running to the loo very quickly. Within an hour or so, I'll be literally running there, and I just find it just churns in my guts. So I don't have those. So for me, lamb right at the very top. Then you've got your beef, then fish, pork. I suppose it's a push. Chicken, not really that fussed about chicken. And all around those, I'll have eggs of some amount per day. I do like eggs. I think they've got an all-round decent nutritional profile, so I do quite like eggs. And right at the very bottom, almost like as a last resort, I will have different cheeses. They're not something I buy a lot of, to be honest, but you know what, they're a good stopgap at times. Just for me personally, they just don't work as well as the cuts of meat. Now, things which absolutely destroy me, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, and you've probably gleaned that I'm very, you know, sensitive to carbohydrates. The things which do the worst damage to me are quite obvious. Sugar in any shape or form. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, refined white sugar, sucrose, or if it's muscovado, you know, the dark sugar. It doesn't matter if it's agave nectar, if it's golden syrup, if it's maple syrup. It doesn't matter. It destroys me, and it creates almost like a little demon in my head, which gives me the wrong thoughts, persuades me to do the wrong thing, to eat the wrong thing, to drink the wrong thing. And if any of you are old enough to remember the movie Animal House, where there's that scene where it's got an angel on one side and a devil on the other, and they're both giving him advice. Well, if I have sugar or any kind of refined carbohydrate or artificial sweetener of any sort, I only get the devil. And if there is an angel on this side, he certainly ain't speaking up. It's only the devil telling me what to do wrong and justifying doing these wrong things. So where absolutely possible, I will remove sugar, artificial sugar, any kind of carbohydrates, especially cheap refined carbohydrates, which will just turn into, you know, sugar and then fat anyway. I remove them from my diet because they do absolutely destroy me. So yeah, it don't matter if it's real sugar and quite happily described as sugar, or artificial, or just the cheap carbohydrates. I keep them all out of my diet. They're just garbage. They're absolutely no benefit whatsoever to me. I'm living off literally animal proteins, animal fats, and I do top up with extra butter and coconut oil as necessary. That to me, perfect combination. At the moment I'm having between 3 and 4 small meals per day. The reason for that is it allows my body to absorb the macronutrients within that smaller meal and actually put it to use and digest it. Give me a chance to work out if I'm still hungry an hour, 2-3 hours later, rather than just stuffing myself. And I find I've got more energy and better positivity throughout the day, especially if I know that every couple of hours I'm going to have something delicious to eat. And because it's small amounts of protein, there's hardly any chance of it being broken down into a sugar and stored as fat, because I'm adding extra fat to my meals to balance out, so I've got like a 1-to-1 ratio of protein and fat. I find that I've got loads of energy. I'm producing plenty of ketones, which just boost my mental clarity, keep me feeling nice and positive, and it just makes me feel nice and full without eating a huge amount of meal. And I find that these smaller meals allow my stomach to shrink and just kind of contract around my food. So for years I've overeaten, and I mean really overeaten, to the point of feeling my rib cage being distended to the point of regurgitation. I didn't consider going out for a good meal good unless it made me feel sick because I'd eaten so much food. So it's taken a while for my stomach to shrink, and I suppose that's why when I was on OMAD it was working really well, because if I'd got this overstretched stomach and I was putting a lot of food into it over a 2-hour period, it was recreating that same hearty meal kind of experience, that distension feel, that totally stuffed experience. But what I've noticed with having the smaller meals excuse me, what I've noticed with the smaller meals is that my stomach has obviously shrank. So when I put into it, you know, a lamb chop or a pork chop or a pork shoulder or a steak and a little bit of fat, find my stomach kind of just like grabs onto it and starts the old peristaltic action very, very quickly and very efficiently. I feel full very, very quickly, and I seem to get more out of my meals. You know, bowel actions just seem to work better. I don't seem to have any, you know, problems with the loo and things like that, and I just find multiple small meals through the day just works nicely for me. I mean, since doing this multiple small meals, my stomach has shrunk another inch, which, you know, for a little hack is quite a good little result really. So yeah, for me, 4 small meals per day seems to work absolutely wonderful. Okay guys, well I'm going to wrap it up now. This is the end of my little walkie-talkie waffle video, and if you've hung around to the end, thank you very much. I know I tend to go on a little bit, but if some of my experiences have helped you, then brilliant. And if you do like the video, drop us a like, maybe considering subscribing or sharing the video to other people if they can be helped with some of the experiences I've gone through. And I'm now going to walk back through the fields, go home, see if my son is awake and if he wants any breakfast. It won't be a healthy breakfast, I can guarantee you that, but I wish you all the best, and I hope you have a great forthcoming week. Hope you put into it as much positivity and creativity as possible, and try your best to just improve your life and improve the life of other people. Take it easy. Speak soon.